So guys, finally, a northern cleric has come out to condemn the killing and genocide going on against Christians in Nigeria. He has called a spade, saying it is true that Christians are being killed and that the Muslims are not supposed to do that their Quran does not support it. So guys, also, Pastor Paul Eneche has come out to blow hot. You are going to be taking a look at that video. But before then, let's quickly take a look at some of the reactions happening on the social media. Like you can see, this is coming from Channels Television saying terrorists kill 4 security officers in fresh ambush. You can see the date of this article is 15th of November. That is yesterday. You know, they said these bad guys are still killing our military men, and you know, the military allowed them to go free. Now, I'm going to allow you to take a look at more reactions. This one here says, Plateau is witnessing genocide. 64 communities forcefully taken over. This is coming from Solomon Lalong. He's re-echoing what the governor of the state has already said before, that 64 communities have been taken over by these bandits. And guess what? The Tinubu's government is quiet. Nobody's talking about all this. And this other headline here says, bandits sack Niger state communities by 16 vigilantes, abduct dozens of residents in fresh attacks. So guys, all these are yesterday's headline, just for you to know that there is fire on the mountain. I'm just going to allow you to take a look at some of these clips. Take your time, watch these videos, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Now take a look.
In 2017, for instance, there was an attack in Bakin Kogi, Kanu, and Channels TV, I'll mention names, said 7 houses were burnt and 4 people were killed. I left Port Harcourt to Southern Kaduna. I counted 150 houses, and I saw a mass grave containing 21 persons. So the media is also complicit in what is happening in the Middle Belt. Thank God for News Central for what you're doing. Unfortunately, you are very young. You started in 2017 or thereabout. But these atrocities have been going on for many years. Before I founded Middle Belt Times, let me tell you why. I was writing for various platforms. And sometimes when I write my stories, they will tell me that these guys are not terrorists. They are unknown gunmen or they are bandits. And one day I spoke to an editor. I said, look, sir, don't publish my story. And in 2019, of course, because if you must speak the truth as a journalist in this country, then you must be ready to face the consequences. 2019, I spent 162 days in prison for my uncompromised reportage. And when I was stepping into Kaduna prison, the first thing I wanted to see were the terrorists that have been terrorizing our people. I didn't find any. The few I found, including the ones who killed the Agwam Adara in 2018, they were looking better than me that was coming from outside in the prison. As of today, I don't know their whereabouts. They may have been released, because I remember meeting a certain Adamu in Kaduna prison who told me something. He said, look, he was arrested for illegal possession of firearm. That's a capital offense. The security agents are no longer here. I heard somebody talking about the judiciary. It's a compromised judiciary. It is. When I got to prison, I saw a lot of young men from Southern Kaduna who were standing trial for simply trying to defend their communities. I wept bitterly.
First of all, I'm glad that something like this came up. Whenever I'm making videos like this, most people feel like I'm just talking. I don't know what they talk about, not just content that they create. This is not content for me. I know what I am saying. Now, soldiers are complaining that bandits in the army are giving out information to their former commanders. I don't talk this thing tired before. You go arrest a known bandit. They don't give you order to unalive them, so you know go against that order. So you hand over these bandits to the right authority for them to do the needful. But instead, they go carry and go camp. After some months, they go say, don't repent, he's not a good person. The next thing, they go put her inside army. Not just, they go put them inside army, or they put them for police. In fact, they separate them. Some go army, some go police, some go navy, some go air force. Special candidates. Person who you arrest like 8 months ago, today is now your colleague. And I did the same duty. So how can you be so comfortable that these same terrorists will watch your back if anything happens? This person, they are still loyal to their former commanders. Their terrorist commanders, they are loyal to them. Now the reason why these soldiers go make plans on how to launch an attack, the next thing, they don't hear everything. They know everything will happen. They know the kind of weapon where they base. They know numbers of soldiers where they around. They know everything. Courtesy of the so-called repentant Boko Haram that the government push into the military. To do what? To fight their fellow, their not even formal colleagues. They are still colleagues. It just be like you send somebody undercover to, work with the enemy. That's what they are doing. They are still loyal to the commanders. They still do dirty work for them. I say you go plan something. Men go plan something. After they finish that meeting, Bandits or Boko Haram don't hear everything. How you want to take fight that can fight? How you want to achieve your aim with saboteurs they inside your camp? Think about it. These people are terrorists. They were caught. They did not go to prison. They went for military training. And now they are soldiers working together with the same soldiers that arrested them. But they are still loyal to their former terrorist commanders, giving out information. If soldiers they pass here, Bandit, Boko Haram don't know that road they pass, they'll lay ambush. Come on, Nigerian government, come on. Come on. What are we doing?
You see white, you say it's black. You see black, you say it's white. Because of some petty money or petty position, because of your stomach, your belly. And those of you who see white and you call it black, those of you who see white and you call it black because of what to chop in this world, let me tell you, you will suffer from this world and you will suffer in the flames of hell except you change. You see white, you say it's black. You see black, you say it's white. Because of some petty money or petty position, because of your stomach, your belly. You don't know that your bread can be gone overnight. Then what will you eat out of what you are looking for? You don't call you are not man enough to say that blue is blue, white is white, black is black. Your position depends on the situation. Anybody who falls in that category, you know you know yourself. You are ashamed to yourself, ashamed to who born you, ashamed to your community, ashamed to your faith, and ashamed to your generation. Shame. See white, you say it's black. You see black, you say it's white. What shall he profit a man if he gets the whole world and he loses his soul? What can a man give in exchange? Call a spade a spade. You can't treat an issue that has not been diagnosed. There has to be diagnosis before there is treatment. What you don't confront, you can't conquer. Just meandering and going up and down. Situation should remain like this and you are happy. This whole land should remain the way it is. It's a new day. How many of you believe it's a new day? Lift up your hands, say it's a new day. Say it's a new day. Wave your hands and give the Lord the praise. I believe God is hearing our prayers and God is answering our prayers and God will continue to hear and answer us. Can we celebrate the King of Kings? How many of you know how you will celebrate? When you walk out of this country one day and you come to America and they are celebrating you. From Nigeria, you are welcome. You're welcome. How many months do you want to stay? You arrive at the UK and they are celebrating you. We are hearing great things about your nation. We just heard that an unusual transformation just took place. Wow. We are hearing that you are among the 4th largest economies in the world. The 4 largest economies in the world. Nigeria has that potential. I just said it now. You are among the 4 largest economies in the world. We just heard of it. You are welcome. How many of you will welcome that day when you arrive in Oka, in Enugu, you arrive in Gombe, and you thought you were in Dubai? Because there is enough resources, apart from demons that diverted it, Dracula's blood-sucking agents that took it and used it to do nothing. There is enough resources for the development of the land. How many of you will know? When you can drive Let me tell you. Do you remember when we drove from Bauchi? No, when we drove from Zaria to Bauchi through Kanu and then to Bauchi.
From Jos.
Yes.
Through Bauchi to Kanu to Zaria.
What time of the night?
In the night. Day, anytime.
Daytime,
we
2
started, we are traveling. Just
3 a.m.
You, me, and baby Deborah. Only in the car.
I'm driving. Nothing. You are not worried. The other day, somebody told me that in Kogi State, somebody's car spoiled. Mechanic came to repair it. And another person, they came and kidnapped 2 of them. Mechanic repairing car on the road. Now, the reason why I'm aware is because they send us the messages permanently. So some of those in authority have no idea what is going on because they are not aware. They send us these messages day and night, and somebody wants us to remain normal. The headaches of the masses, the headache of the people, the challenges. Mechanic and to somebody's friend who stood by the car on the road to repair. If you saw mechanic, you kidnap him. For who to pay you? For who to pay you? There was a time when you slept in the village. You left your door open.
Even in the town.
Even at night. You left your door open.
Where we lived in Metama.
You brought mattress and kept outside. The heat was too much. You slept from night till morning. Today they will come and steal the person outside. In those days they used to steal things night. It's people they are stealing. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Our people kept on watching. Things are degenerating. They kept on watching, speaking through sides of the mouth. Political consideration became more important than human lives. More important than human lives and the dignity and sanctity of life. Somebody will arrange his yam to sell on the road. The owner is not there. The other person will sell and keep his money for him. Today they will steal all the yam. They will steal, especially roasted yam. Are you following what I'm saying? You see, I've been begging God. I said, you are not a waster. You cannot put all these good things in our nation and this world will end without us seeing it. You are not. Let us enjoy the resources of this nation while there is time. In our lifetime, let us see the wealth of our nation. Let us see the enormous prosperity of our nation in our lifetime. If a whole generation of human beings need to be buried, God bury them. Bury them. If you need to bury a whole lot, just bury them one by one. Or together, if need be. Whatever you will do. And until Pharaoh died, Israel was not free. Kill some pharaohs from the land. Take them out by enemies. What was I planning to tell you? How will you behave when you arrive in America? And they say, you are from Nigeria? We know your country is so good that you don't want to come here anymore. So how long do you want to stay? Give me 2 days. You know, that's what we used to do for them in America. We come to say, how many days? I say 2 days. They say, what? You travel all the way for 2 days? I say, I'm so busy. I have too much work to do. I can only afford 2 days. I've not done more than 5 days, not more. In fact, 4 days. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you arrive and they say, only 2 days, well, we are coming. And then the immigration officer is asking you, I really want to relocate to your country. I heard things are so good. What will it take for me to get residency? You think it's not possible? If God can raise the dead, He can heal Nigeria.
That's right.
Nigerians, if you're a soldier, if you be soldier, where they serve Nigeria, where they in the Nigerian army as a soldier, this news, where they bring now, this particular news, supposed to make you resign as a soldier. Because if not me, I go resign. Personally, if this news come when I was still a soldier, I would have resigned. You know, guys, because this news is very, very demoralizing. Very, very demoralizing. You don't understand, see? 390 BK boys, like BKH boys, 390, they graduate today in Gombe State. They graduate, like today in their graduation. The federal government, they tell us that these boys now don't be repentant Boko boys. Right now they are okay and they are good to go. So now they are going to be installed into our community. They're going to install them now to the community. Not just that to now come close, because this is where this story gets very interesting. Not just that these people will be installed into the community, into the society, free, go. No, the federal government gave them 50,000 naira each. 50,000 naira each. They give them one bag of rice. They give them oil. They give them bag of salt. Oh boy, to be bandit for this country, they pay. To be a bandit in Nigeria pays. Bro, you see, and you that is a soldier, see you they die, they murder you for nothing. They unalive you for nothing. But see them, when they unalive you, they get credit for unaliving you. This is what the federal government is telling these boys. You unalive these soldiers, you get credit for unaliving them. You buy them, we credit you for buying our soldiers. You understand? That is what the federal government is telling them. Buy our soldiers, we credit you for buying them. Unalive our soldiers, we credit you for unaliving them. See them, they get 50,000 naira each for buying you as a soldier. They give them bag of rice each for buying you as a soldier. For unaliving you as a soldier, for murdering you as a soldier. The Nigeria federal government is giving each and every one of them one bag of rice, one bag of salt, one bag of oil, 1 gallon of oil, and 50,000 each. Not just that, they even sew uniform for them free of charge. Their uniform is free of charge. They are all see them. You see them with uniform free of charge. You that is a soldier, you sew uniform from your own salary. Like your salary, you take from your salary to sew uniform. But this one, federal government sew uniform for them free of charge, and pay them for buying you. Nigeria is a scam. See, as a soldier in the Nigerian army, if this news not demoralize you, nothing will demoralize you again. Your government is crediting people that are buying you. They credit them for unaliving you. They give them bag of rice for taking your life. They give them bag of salt for taking your life. They give them bag of a gallon of oil for murdering you. Where is the morale? OCB, hey, federal government of bandit. Nigeria federal government is federal government of bandits. It pays to be a bandit in this country.
Point of their reintegration into the society. So the National Emergency Management Agency comes in and provides the necessary relief, which will serve as a support for them and their families before they are able to get a source of livelihood and then get properly settled in their various societies.
Especially as this year has been another large number of Christians killed. And so we're quite excited about the intervention by President Trump. It's the first time our missionaries are saying a sigh of relief that at least help is coming. And we want to see this stopped, and we want to see our government act to do the needful to stop the killing. That's all we're asking for.
The incoming president, President Buhari, was heavily supported by a foreign government, and one of the first missions was to terminate our contract.
Could you name that foreign government?
Yes, we were told it was the United States, and they had actually funded President Buhari's campaign. The campaign manager for President Buhari came from the US, and I'm not saying that the United States is bad. I understand foreign interests, but I would have thought that a threat such as Boko Haram on the integrity of the state of Nigeria ought to be actually a priority. It was.
Why do you think the US would intervene to abort such operation?
Again, I can't answer that. I think that the US can answer, but what I've come to realize, that is when a government's foreign interests clash with the state's own domestic interests, conflict is bound to ensue. And those conflicts usually just continue with no end. And we can look at all the conflicts in Africa where foreign forces have come in, they've prolonged those conflicts, they haven't ended those conflicts. And the amount of money and manpower and equipment thrown at those conflicts says to me that something is wrong if no end result is achieved. And surely that end result should be to end the conflict and establish a basis for negotiations, come to an agreement, and then re-establish governance. But that's not what's happening in Africa.
How much did you charge the Nigerian government?
Well, first of all, we didn't charge the Nigerian government. And I think here that is a question the Nigerian government can answer. We were one subcontractor. So in other words, the Nigerian government appointed a contractor, and we contracted to that contractor as their subcontractor. So I think that's all I'll say. If you're really interested in the figures, that's for the Nigerian government to discuss.
I think that it's about time that an honest conversation is held about the situation in Nigeria and the Nigerian condition, especially life for minorities in Nigeria, life for different tribes in Nigeria, life for Christians in Nigeria. I think an honest conversation needs to be held. And I'm glad that that conversation is happening now, because a lot of the time when these conversations are being held, I've been a part of a lot of peace and conflict resolution committees for Southern Kaduna and the Middle Belt. And none of these things amount to anything, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of insincerity in the conversation. And, you know, Trump's statements have brought the conversation bare for all of us. We have to have that conversation now. And at the moment, I mean, I come from Southern Kaduna. I come from a Christian family in Southern Kaduna, and I know what my people have witnessed. I know what it feels like existing in Southern Kaduna, especially in the last regime, under the last government, under El Rufai. It was a really, really tough time for
Sorry, for the benefit of those watching, can you just give an idea of what you experienced and your family experienced in Southern Kaduna?
My village was attacked a couple of years ago. My village was attacked a couple of years ago, and we're a very small unit. You know, I'm Fanswan. We're a small unit within Southern Kaduna. Southern Kaduna is the larger. There are like 53 tribes in Southern Kaduna, and my village is one of the tribes. Like my village houses one of the tribes. And a couple of years ago in June, armed men stormed our village and just started shooting sporadically. Right? They started shooting, killed a lot of people, and then they burnt houses and they left. And it's this kind of attacks we've been facing. Prior to this, what used to happen is we could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, for example, which is the larger place where I come from. We could be having a peaceful day in Kafanchan, and then prayer would be called in the mosque, and we'll just sense, you know, a sense of, okay, this is not the kind of normal prayer that is being called. Something is happening. And then a crisis will start, and our people would have to run, our people would have to push back, our people would have to fight back, people would lose their lives, and then police would come, you know, everybody back to your tents, and life continues like we were not attacked. And it had been happening like that. But after a while, that changed. We were no longer seeing the attacks from the people within the Kafanchan vicinity. We started seeing the attacks from people in the bush. So they were coming from the bushes, attack. It was no longer like riots. It was no longer like the normal crisis we have been experiencing. And if you notice, once these herdsmen attacks and these terrorist attacks took over, the attacks from the city, the crisis reduced, because this is now the new method, or this is the new ways in which these attacks happen to our people. So these people coming from the bushes, they shoot at our people, kill people, burn houses, do what it is they want to do, and they disappear. A lot of the times our people will also say, look, we are seeing people in the bushes, so we know where they are in the bushes. You will point them out to the military. We know, we have seen them here. Nothing will be done. We'll be attacked. Our people have also tried, to arm themselves, make local weapons that they can use for our boys to do vigilante and protect themselves. It's happening in the Northeast. In the Northeast, for example, there is a civilian joint task force. But in the Middle Belt, we've been asking for the longest time, okay, can our people protect themselves? What happens is the military will come in, collect the weapons from our boys, arrest some of our boys are still in jail. From a long time ago, from Buhari's government, some of our boys are still in jail. Arrest our boys, take them away, arrest anybody that's trying to make makeshift weapons to help the people, take them away, and make it look like, attempting to protect ourselves is an act of war. And it just like I said, it has been a lot of insincerity around the conversation, and this has been leading to the death of our people. The bottom line of all of this, our people are dying. We are dying.
In the Cato, just to put, these attacks that you have mentioned in your community, in your village in southern Kaduna, just to put it within context, are these attacks around religion or tribe? Because, with reference to the allegation of a Christian genocide.
No, I would say in southern Kaduna, for example, we are predominantly Christians in southern Kaduna, and when we would join the peace and conflict resolution committees, for example, you will hear things like, "Oh, we were attacked in one part of southern Kaduna." Okay, so there are 53 tribes in southern Kaduna, right? Over 53. I've listed them on social media one time. There are over 53 tribes in southern Kaduna. And you claim, for example, that you were attacked in a place like Kagoro. Let's give an example of Kagoro. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? Different tribes, different people. Why are you attacking Kafanchan? What does it have? So the excuses have been so many, but at the bottom of it all is that Christians have been getting killed. And how you would know that this is targeted religious and tribal is that, number one, churches are targeted. Our churches are burnt down. Our priests are targeted, pastors are targeted. It is. This has been going on for so many years, and I would like to point out something that we're not holding in this conversation. Dapo, when these things started, especially like the broader Boko Haram and all of that terrorism started, it started with the Christians first. Those were the people who were first getting attacked. I remember in places like Borno where they would say, "Oh, Igbo boys cannot do their shop. We, cannot put the mannequins in their shop because it's haram. You cannot do this. You cannot sell this kind of clothes. You cannot do this. You cannot do that." Christian neighborhoods were being attacked. I would remember talking to a lot of people and they'll be like, "Oh, no, they're just trying to push Sharia law. They just believe that education is a sin. They are not after anybody." Excuses were made for these people at the time. And I'm wondering why Nigeria is having this conversation without accepting that, this thing happened at that time. We're trying to brush over it. Excuses were made at the time when Boko Haram came out, when it did not look like they were going to be attacking Muslims too. Their first targets, their primary targets used to be Christians before they spread and it became everybody. And now, there's fire on the mountain. So I remember when all of this started, it wasn't everyone, it was a group of people. And it's the same thing in the Middle Belt. You'll be shocked that even on social media, the conversation around bandits and terrorists, when Middle Belt people start saying that we are getting killed, people who are complaining that they are getting killed in places like Zamfara and Katsina will tell us that, yes, we are attacking Fulani people. That is why they are killing us. So even while they are still suffering the killings of bandits, they are still making excuses for bandit killings in areas that have people who are not like them. And this is a very dangerous part of the conversation. All of this, when you look at all of this, people who make excuses for terrorism, people who are extremists, which is a problem, a serious problem that we have in northern Nigeria, religious extremism, specifically Islamic extremism. People who are extremists have been allowed to have a field day in Nigeria. Extremism is the founding father of this terrorism.
Extremism. I think I'll pick it from what where you stopped. You said extremism being the founding father of terrorism, according to you. Well, joining this conversation after the break, we'll be bringing Mohammed Nuru Khalid. He's an Islamic cleric to also speak on this matter. Stay with us. We will be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. It's still Politics HQ on News Central Television. And of course, joining this conversation right now as regards Nigeria being placed on the list of country of particular concern by the U.S. is Sheikh Mohammed Nuru Khalid, is an Islamic cleric. Thank you for your time, sir. Let me also take your reaction to Nigeria being placed on the list of countries of particular concern, and also the allegation of a Christian genocide. Is this the situation, particularly in some parts of the country?
Well, let me begin by saying that it is very unfortunate that Nigeria has been placed in as a country of particular concern by the U.S. government. And let me also sympathize with the Christians that were part of the victims of the killing, and also sympathize with all Nigerians that have faced this kind of killing over time. I listened to many, and I have taken been in one or two conversations about this issue of genocide. But I think if you listen carefully about the narratives and counter narratives that we have, is that people are saying that yes, there is killing in Nigeria, and this is a fact. There is killing in Nigeria, and for a long period of time. And in some places, you find Christians are the victims more, and in some places, the Muslims are more. But it is not good for us to be counting who is the victim, who was killed. But the victims are Nigerians, and the government is supposed to be protecting people, regardless of their faith and their language, their political alliance, their geographical location, and what have you. We have to acknowledge the fact that Nigeria has been facing these challenges for a long period of time, and the government for that period of time have failed to provide the necessary security needed in the country.
All right,
and that is why some citizens went to U.S. to complain. And that is why the U.S. is now trying to take action, or it has started some necessary...
Sheikh, I'm sorry to interrupt your line of thought, but maybe I should move to specifics here. What about, what's your reaction to issues around extremism, religious extremism, and some sort of what some would describe as a jihadist agenda?
Well, if you look at what the Boko Haram are doing, is extremism. And they term what they are doing as jihad. But we in the scholarship line of Islam, we know that what they are doing is not jihad, and they are not representing the majority Muslims. As such, we must acknowledge, we must agree that yes, there are some Muslims who went to extreme end of so-called Islam, and they are killing people. That is the Boko Haram, the ISWAP, the Ansar, the Laukurawa, the Ahmadi. All these are reality, but they are not representing. They are not representing us. We are kicking against what they are doing. All my preaching is witness to that. Therefore, we must agree that yes, there are some extremists amongst us, and we must deal with them if we want to stay in peace in Nigeria. We must agree to some extent Christians were the victims.
All right, thank you so much, Sheikh. Let's bring it to the conversation. Larry Toluyi is a political strategist. He joins from the United Kingdom. Thank you for your time, Larry. Now, Larry, I would like you to, of course, explore the angle of how the government has addressed this issue over the years, which many have pointed in that direction, saying the government has not been sincere, has been, lopsided, has not been tactical enough, even though we know a bulk of our budget goes into security spending. So I would like you to just quickly, in 30 seconds or less, just take us through. Do you think the Nigerian government, from the inception of the Boko Haram, that is, has really been tactical and thorough in handling this matter?
I'm believing everyone, like I said, no time, but I think the Nigerian government have not done well, and it is not their fault. I think the problem started with our constitution, because from our constitution, I think our constitution is not being well implemented. When you look at the fourth line of Nigerian constitution, it tells you this is sacrosanct, this is binding, every other law goes into it. And immediately after we have that conversation in Nigeria, you see at the same time we say we are a secular nation, but at the same time we see some part of the nation wanting to implement Sharia, which is not, because the Sharia can only happen in the state, if the country has a state religion. And we said we have freedom of association, so we don't have freedom of association. That's why you see in some part of the country, just like people have spoken, some people will say, you cannot do this, you cannot do this, because that's not going in line with this kind of religion. And it shouldn't be so, because we are a secular nation. And because we are a secular nation, that will have helped the government to do what they need to do. But every government we've seen, none of them have displayed the political will to do what is right, because it's not about spending billions or trillions of naira on security and defense equipment. We must actually address the root cause, and we must do a root cause analysis, then address what the problem is. And I think addressing this problem, we need to first look at our constitution and ensure that our constitution is implemented by making Nigeria a secular nation. Any other law or any other religious law or anything should be at the back burner.
But just to quickly interject, the government has said that Nigeria, even in its statements in reaction to what the U.S. has said Nigeria practices diverse religion and it's pretty open. The government did emphasize that in all of its conversations around it. So is it an issue of it not being in the Constitution, or an issue of implementation in a way, recognition and implementation in a way? Is that the angle you're touring?
Yeah, that's the angle I'm touring, because when you see, look, we say we are a secular nation. In our constitution, Sharia is mentioned how many times, Grand Kadi is being mentioned in how many places. So these are the things we're talking about. We are a secular nation. So a Grand Kadi shouldn't be mentioned, a Sharia shouldn't be mentioned, a canon law shouldn't be mentioned. Do you know what I'm saying? It should be that we have a constitution, and when we have the constitution, that will not empower the government to do what they need to do. So if anybody or any state or anybody is gathering to say, oh, we are this, we are that, we want to implement the canon law, they can be met with the equal force, because we are lax, and we are not maintaining that. We just have these things written in papers, and we are not implementing them.
All right, thank you so much, Lanre Toluyi. In the Cato, just in 30 seconds, what's your take on the idea of reintegration, rehabilitation of quote-unquote repentant terrorists?
It is insulting. It's an insult by the government on the victims of these terrorists. That is not the way to go. And I think that has sent a clear message to, external people, external bodies, that Nigeria is not serious about their approach to terrorism, because you cannot see people destroying lives, destroying lives and properties, and saying that, the best way to do this is to rehabilitate these people. I understand, giving a soft landing may encourage some of them to leave terrorism, but it has not worked. It has not worked over the years, and we're still back to this. The first thing Nigeria needs to do to tackle terrorism is to tackle Islamic extremism. That is a major problem. It's a conduit. It's the founding, like I said, the founding father of terrorism in Nigeria, and we have to look at that. Extremism is the problem. We cannot continue to coddle terrorism.
All right, thank you so much. Sheikh, before I let you go, sir, there's also been a lot of conversation around Sharia law and the Nigerian constitution. I would like you to, in 30 seconds, if you can just put some sort of clarity to it. The Sharia law, the boundaries around it, particularly in lieu of the nation's constitution.
Well, I think what we need to do in Nigeria, if really we want to tackle the issue, is to go back and look into our Constitution. I'm referring you to Section 38 of the Constitution, which deals with the freedom of religion. Now, if you look at it and look at what is if you look at the issue on ground, the issue of Sharia is something that contradict one another. So we need to, first of all, sit down and look into our Constitution and amend what is amendable that will make us live together without somebody encroaching the right of other. Muslims are saying that they want Sharia, and it is constitutional right. They mentioned some sections of the Constitution that is giving them that right. Now, if you look at the section of the Constitution I quoted earlier and bring them together, you find a contradiction. And to remove that discrepancy, we must come together, use the National Assembly and change what is changeable or amend what is amendable, not to be talking on the air about Qadi, about Sharia. That will not solve the problem. We must go to the National Assembly and amend the Constitution.
So guys, there is an update coming from the United States. The congressman known as Ryan Moore has come out to give updates on what Nigerians and other people should know about. He wrote on his Twitter handle, Christians in Nigeria are murdered at a 5-to-1 rate compared to other religions. The US will not turn a blind eye. Thank you for designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern. Our investigation is underway. More from my Fox News Sunday interview. So our investigation is underway. So US is still gathering more information for them to take action, because guess what? For the fact that Trump has come out to say he will act, there's no going back on that. Now, let's see how people are reacting. This jihadist here is in Nigeria. He is about jihad and conquest. The continuous existence of Nigeria will get every Christian Islamized or exterminated. This man is in Nigeria and he preaches things you wouldn't want to use your ears to hear. The killings are aimed at Islamizing Nigeria. He has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with religion. This what Boko Haram did, see it. Wanted in Nigeria to save Christians. So this is another. Despite Trump's anger over Christian genocide, Tinubu government welcomes Saudi cleric who preaches killing, enslavement of non-Muslims worldwide. So this man preaches in the entire world that Christians should be quiet, Christians should be, this is him, and he is currently in Nigeria. The government is not doing anything, And this person said the continuous existence of Nigeria will get every Christian Islamized. The continuous existence of Nigeria will get everybody Islamized or exterminated. Disintegration of Nigeria remains the only way to save Nigerian Christians. The killings are aimed at Islamizing Nigeria. It has nothing to do with regime change. Support Biafra nation. And insecurity aimed at Islamizing Nigeria. This is coming from Ahmadu Bello, VC, Professor Saro, Warriors of the Forest. We will not stop killing Christians in Nigeria, ICC. So you can see it that it is aimed at Islamizing Nigeria. And yes, the Warriors in Forest, Islamic Cleric tells Nigerians. And this kind of jihad and Islamic conquest are ancient ideologies. This quote here was from Sir Ahmadu Bello, one of the founding fathers of Nigeria. Start talking about disintegration of Nigeria. Political sanctions can end this jihadist ideology of forceful conversion of Christians. And this is what Samadu Bello said the new nation called Nigeria should be an estate of our great-grandfather or old man than Fodio. We must ruthlessly prevent a change of power. We use the minorities in the north as willing tools and the south as a conquered territory, and never allow them to rule over us, never allow them to have control over their future. God, this is horrifying. Start from Israel and then come to Nigeria. That's what this person is saying. And another person, please, Trump should do fast and help, because ever since they added more, Another person here is saying that, please don't forget IPOB, our terrorist organization also. Oh my God. And this person here said the Christians in Nigeria continue to be killed at an alarming and disproportionate rate. For years, communities have cried out while mass graves burn villages, targeted attacks piled up with little accountability. The U.S. designation of Nigeria as a country of concern, of particular concern, is necessary first step, but it must not end at statements and classification. America must act fast. This crisis has already claimed too many lives, and every delay allows more families to be shattered and more communities to be erased. So guys, these are Nigerians speaking their minds. This person said we need urgency, pressure, concrete actions to follow immediately because lives depend on it. So guys, this is what Nigerians are saying, that America should come quick. We can't afford to lose more people. This person said, the more you just talk without taking decisive action, the more they buy themselves out of it and disappear without facing consequences. The Fulanis are not alone in this genocide. It's a global Arab Islamist plot. The target is to capture the oil and gas territory in the east. God, please, Pontus, come in time. We are dying every day. The killing in Nigeria is sponsored by the government in power, terrorists per APC. Oh my God. So let me know your thought on this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.